Hi, good afternoon. I'm Swati Dharia. I have coached Science Olympiad with my kids for almost 9 years. I've been head coach at Venus Elementary for 2 years, and now have moved on since my kids are moved on to college. But I was recently asked to be the event supervisor for this event. It's a demo event, which means your scores will not be counted in the overalls. This is the first year we're introducing this event in Macomb Science Olympiad. This is going to be pretty much practice event, and I'm going to be taking a lot of feedback from the coaches, head coaches, students, everyone. So next year we are ready for this in full blown. With that being said, there's a lot of materials that I published last night. I requested to publish out there on the website. There's a PowerPoint presentation which is about 40 to 50 slides. It has a lot of examples, a lot of definitions, clarity on the rules. Most of the rules or what we're looking for in the event is going to be all basics. All basic definitions, all basic information. As far as coding, we will do fill in the blanks in the test. We may throw in after the workshops, and if we feel that the students are up to writing a code, 4 lines of code, simple Java code, we will request, have a seat please. We will request the students to do that, but at the moment, through the workshops, I want to see how comfortable the students are, the coaches are. So whatever we have published in the PowerPoint is pretty much going to be your practice with the students. And that's what we're concentrating on, mainly, those study materials. Okay, sure. In terms of programming, how many coaches here are programmers or have background in Java and so forth? And then how many schools that you represent have programming some sort introduced to your students, elementary students? Okay. Also, if your kids are participating in robotics events, they also introduce a lot of programming, so that might help too, just FYI, to introduce with your schools, head coaches, and so forth. Most of the published material, again, like I said, on the website has all the definitions, what terminology on Java we're going to be requesting the students to know, the data structures, primitive basics, again, all basics we're looking for. And then in terms of code, fill in the blanks, true or false, we're going to be looking for those kind of things more than anything. We may throw in, depending again on the workshops and what the students or the coaches feel are comfortable, we may throw in a tiebreaker question or some kind of coding to be done towards the end. Depends again on how well the students catch up and how comfortable they are with this event. With that being said, I'm open to open forum, so please throw in all the questions one at a time. And Shane here and myself, we will definitely try to answer everything we can. Yeah, please.
What kind of program are you guys thinking of having the kids write?
Simple Java code like Hello World, or print 1 through 10 numbers, and if we request you to do that, he puts in some kind of code and says, okay, is this correct? That's one of the, please come on in. Thank you.
Yeah, if you were to get a full-blown hands-on portion of the test where the kids are writing code, they would write it in something like Notepad and just give it to us. We would try to compile it ourselves. Points would be awarded for whether or not it compiles, how neat the code is, how efficient it is, all of that. I wouldn't expect anything more than just one Java class, the main method. We're not going to use other methods, we're not going to use other classes. Just one simple thing of code to do one simple task. That would probably be like the most advanced we would go, I think.
If they're doing that using Notepad, would they have the tools to be able to compile it to check their own syntax before they submit?
And that's one of the things, I have it in the notes from the previous session. I'm not sure if each of these laptops they will have a compiler installed on that. We will be providing text editor, but I'm not sure about the compilation. So that's one thing I will clarify and put it out on the FAQs.
Yeah, I wouldn't, at this point, I wouldn't expect there to be a compiler, but also keep in mind that if that's the case, we won't put a ton of points on whether or not it compiles. If they miss one little bracket or if they miss one thing, it's not going to ruin everything for them.
How would you determine that?
We're going to have to hand score each of the code.
Okay.
We're going to have a rubric for it too. It's gonna be tough for us, but that's why we're asking you guys for your feedback, I guess. If that sounds fair to you guys, it's probably the way that I had in mind we would score it.
Considering these are elementary students, we need to know how much they know about coding and what your comfort level is also. So from the workshops, we're going to gather a lot of feedback and what they know and how much can we throw in terms of complexity. For now, our concentration is mainly on the basics right now. But if we feel that, okay, they are up to doing compilation and we can throw in a little more complexity on the code, we may put in just multiple choice or true or false kind of things also, not necessarily doing compilation specifically themselves. So, right, for example, if they're doing text editor, they're entering the code, we may put in something in the true or false or in fill in the blanks on the questionnaire and say, okay, do you think this is right? Or what would you be the next code would be, or line of code, and so forth.
You could use like a code editor instead of a text editor, like VS Code or Atom or one of those.
We will
That'll
be using
at least
text
point
editor.
out, that'll at least point out if there's
Yes.
Do you think it would be probably more advantageous maybe to have code written for the kids to analyze and then describe what would happen instead?
Potentially, yeah, I think that's...
Versus having to write it and then the complexity of if I missed a space or if I missed a bracket.
Yeah, I think that's what she's kind of going for with saying we could do fill in the blanks also, or we could say, will this compile? Or we can also ask, what does this do? So I think what our plans are is she's made a lot of study material for you guys that's going to be up hopefully in the next day or two. In the next month before the workshop, we want you guys to go through that. It'll keep you busy. There's plenty to learn. At the point of the workshop, we're going to gauge your level of comfort and see where we want to go from there. Since this is a trial event, we're trying to figure out the level of difficulty that's appropriate.
Which program do you suggest to download to do the Java programming?
There are online compilers for it that might just be simplest. Eclipse may work. It's really up to you, since I would only, at this point, I would only expect something like Notepad to be there. But again, we're not even sure if that's the kind of thing we're going to be doing on the test, so stay tuned for that information.
Was it Java or Swift?
Java.
And there's a whole page of, I believe, 2 pages of terminology, Java basic terminology, which I've also asked them to publish it on the website for you guys, so the students might get familiar with those terms.
So that stuff should be up in the next couple of days?
Yes, in a day or two. Yeah, I just sent it out yesterday, so I was just engaged right before the holidays.
Yeah.
So apologize for the delay, but yeah. So a lot of clarification on the rules in terms of order of operations. The kids should know, they're elementary kids, but a lot of clarification on encryption, what is different types of encryption, decryption, basic terminology. Again, we're going through those, and then I'm going through all the rules, and I put out a slide for each of these rules in clarification, so it helps the students to know what they're, or the coaches, what they're expected to learn and be ready for the workshop.
So the PowerPoint that you put together, focus on that, and that's what we're going to use for the
Correct.
workshop for the kids to do.
Yes.
So is there going to be a test then? Are they going to be actually having a test in the workshop?
I am anticipating, yeah, we should be having a test ready for the workshop, and maybe I can put in a challenge or question around the code too, to see what kind of comfort or what kind of level of programming they know too, because I know there's only 4 elementary schools right now who are teaching programming, but we don't know if any other students or other elementary kids are open to that as well. Yeah.
So as a demonstration event, the day of the tournament, it'll be a walk-in right?
Mhm.
And they'll have, what, about 30 minutes?
Yes,
That
it's
doesn't-
30 minutes, team of up to 2 students. They're allowed a cheat sheet, back and forth, one paper, and they can do whatever they'd like on that cheat sheet and bring in.
And when it comes to the scheduling, I think we're gonna have a self-schedule system online beforehand that you can sign up through, just to make sure you'll be able to make time for it. We don't have the times, the available times released for that yet, but we will send out a note when they are ready.
Any other questions? I think one of the questions from the previous session was the schedule. So again, we will send out the schedule and it'll be published. So I'm not sure about that. And then the test is going to be pretty much in Scantron format. We may have maybe a page or two, maybe depending on the code or multiple choice. So we'll see how that goes. The test format is not finalized yet, but maybe it's Scantron.
Yeah, so that would be like the zip grade forms that you've probably seen in other events.
Any other questions, concerns?
Suggestions?
Yeah, suggest don't write a program. I would suggest you don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll see where we're at the workshop. I
Yeah.
guess that's kind of where it's.
What the plan is, I think, is we're gonna see where you guys are at the time of the workshop and finalize what we're gonna do by that time, or at that time.
I think the fill in the blanks and the what's it do, give us some,
Yeah.
I think those are great kinds of things that,
Thank you.
I think that'll work real well.
Yeah, for students to write code right off of scratch, it might throw them off the bus and they might say,
Especially
oh.
the first time.
I know. So yeah, fill in the blanks, true or false, some kind of patterns, binary numbers, calculations, that might help them to learn much more. Yeah.
Definitely binary.
Yeah, I think they'll find the binary stuff really cool.
Cool,
We threw
yeah.
a little bit of that in the rules.
I just don't want to scare them away from this too,
Right,
Yeah.
it's simple. If you look at that PowerPoint, you'll see examples of
Yeah.
what we mean for everything.
Great.
Something that will make it fun for the kids, so
Yes.
something that's already written and they have to just control it. That'll be probably something in the order of not scaring them away, so
Right.
they're attracted to it.
We definitely want to make it a fun event. We don't want to discourage them from learning new stuff and programming and getting into the world of technology for sure. So yeah, we are looking for your feedback. Any questions, concerns, even once you go through the PowerPoint, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it out there on the website through Contact Us, and it'll be routed to myself. So please do give it to your feedback. I'd like to hear from you guys, even way before the workshop, so it helps us to be ready for it as well.
I think it might be fun for some of the younger kids to even go to maybe a high school level and see some of the kids in the high schools what they're doing with the code, like the robotics programs.
Right.
That would be a nice field trip for the students.
Or even if like some of the parents are willing to do like a session with other students, that might help too from other schools. Because as a coach, when I was doing coaching, we introduced, like Bemis went through other schools, elementary schools, and introduced a lot of different schools to come together and say, hey, coaches, do you want to meet together?
Or we're gonna do this event.
Correct,
Let's
yeah.
gather a few
And
schools
let's
together.
get, yeah.
Today is it just happens to be the kickoff for the high school. This
Yeah.
is today.
Yeah.
So how neat is that?
I have heard that there's some sort of facility at like 12 and Van Dyke that does cool robotic stuff called like TACOM, I think. I haven't had the chance to visit myself. A teacher at the school actually told me about it. That might be something you want to look into.
What was that again?
I think it's called TACOM. I have no idea how it's spelled, but it's at 12 and Van Dyke, I think.
It's government.
So it's a government
Yeah.
facility.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're able to tour it in some way, at least in some times of the year. I haven't looked into it though. That might be interesting.
I've seen some of the, for younger kids, so kind of like in Lego robotics, how you have a robot and you have a path you have to pass. Same way on the browser, you have a little maze that you have to cross, and you write the program on the left, and you know.
Hit on, keep on
Yeah, so
hitting
you're not,
left and right
you're not too
arrows.
heavy into kind of like, did I declare variables, did I, not into, very heavy things, but more, I do something and I see that on the right-hand side, so, it's almost interactive. I've seen some of that stuff. Kind of like, very basic, I don't know if you guys remember basic from a very long time ago.
I learned that.
So they kind of simulated that in the Java environment where you learn Java, but you don't have to go through the whole learning loops and all of that to be able to accomplish that. That may be something you guys want to look at. So if it's I think the more easier for the kids to relate, and they do something and they see the feedback and they see, oh, I can do this, I can jump from here to there, or I can take the fish from point A to point B, something like that. That'll be there are lots of things available.
Correct.
It's just a matter of
Yeah.
finding what is acceptable and suitable for the age group.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion too.
Could use, that'd be a challenge, but there's lots of resources there, code.org.
That's awesome. I've never heard of that actually. So.
Yeah.
The block, that's very popular. The block programming is super popular.
What is it?
If you go to code.org,
Oh, it's that one too, okay.
State Science Olympiad also has published two sites. I believe it's codeacademy.org too, which is also very good. You just have to create your own login and password, and it progresses as your child is learning and going into the next level. So there are a lot of websites out there. It's just what you want to learn, how much you want to learn, how much time you want to spend. But right now, please go through the slides. Again, like I said, feel free. Suggestions are welcome, and then we will definitely put out a practice test, one or two, even before the workshop if we can. And maybe then that might help also with the coaches, how to event coach and so forth. But I feel free, throw me any questions. Expect a date or two in response, but yeah.
Our best way to contact you is through the website?
That's
The
what they're
FAQs?
recommending,
Okay.
because then we can publish everything so all the coaches know about it. And it's a knowledge base for this event. Sure.
Okay.
And that'll be on the Code Ninjas event page. There's like an FAQ contact us sort of section there.
Any other questions? Okay. Appreciate everyone coming here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice.